Welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the soniferous, the ever-present Dr. Yukon Suckit. And I am broadcasting to you today from my underground hidden headquarters. Let me say that better. Hidden underground headquarters. Bringing to you a deck that is currently referred to as mono red artifacts. So I was poking around and I'm thinking, really what I'm thinking is, I want to play, who's he? Fiendish Valet. I love Fiendish Valet at the beginning of the release of Streets of New Capenna. I want to play him again. So I've been poking around through a lot of things. I've been finding a lot of mono red decks, but none of them are exactly what I'm looking for. And so I'm at the point where I'm about to start trying to put together something myself when I ran across this deck. It does not have Fiendish Valet in it at all, but it is mono red, and it's pretty much all artifacts. And I just thought, this is interesting. I haven't played it. By looking at it, I'm guessing this thing has aggro capabilities to it, meaning that if you make it into a control deck, they'll just slaughter you, unless you can just play super fast. And so we'll see. So let's take a look at this deck and see what actually pulls together here. At the low end, we've got the Goldhound, which is a 1/1 for 1 with first strike and menace. I mean, you can take out a lot of things as long as they have toughness of 1. With menace, nothing can block it unless you have at least 2 things attempting to block you, which means if you do get blocked, that you'll only be able to kill one of the things, and then you'll be able to kill this. No, then the other thing wouldn't take any damage at all. So, I don't know if that whole first strike thing is really helping out too much. Maybe for blocking, it might be a good deal. Other than that, you can sacrifice him to get yourself 1 mana of any color, because he is a treasure unto himself. My treasured little dog. And then we've got Kumano faces Kakkazan. And this guy, it's a saga, so it comes out, does 1 point of damage to each opponent and each planeswalker they control. Then on the next thing, whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn, it enters the battlefield with an additional +1 counter on it. And then on the third turn, you get a hasty 2/2. And if a creature dealt damage this turn by a source you control would die, exile it instead. So it helps to get rid of some guys on their side that don't go to the graveyard. That guy's awfully cartoony looking there, etching of Kumano. I've never looked at it closely before. All right, so then we got Rabbit Battery, who is really a major annoyance. I know this used to be super popular at the beginning of Kamigawa. It was all over the place for quite a long time. Then luckily kind of toned down, but here it is again for us. So we got a 1/1 for 1 with haste, and you can put it on something else, at which point that creature gets a +1/+1 and haste. It only costs you 1 to throw it on there. We got Sticky Fingers, which is an enchantment, and it says, when an enchanted creature has menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token. And when the enchanted creature dies, you draw a card. There's a lot of good things associated with Sticky Fingers there. Menace and the creation of treasure tokens, and you get a draw a card after that creature dies. All right, I'm gonna say you can put that on Rabbit Battery, and then that I would imagine that it would stick on it, and then as you put it on other things, that would contribute that to the other things. We'll try that out if we get the opportunity. Here's Voltage Surge, which you have 4 of them in hand, which means you could do 2 points of damage to target creature or planeswalker. But you can choose to sacrifice an artifact, of which we will have a ton, at which point it'll deal 4 points of damage instead. We have the Iron Apprentice. Let's see, Iron Apprentice is a 0/0 for 1. That's not going to get you very far. But when it enters the battlefield, it comes in with a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, if it has counters on it, they'll put those counters on target creature you control. So it's kind of got the... I'm trying to think what that was like. I think from like Mirrodin, we used to then move stuff around like that. We moved counters after it died to other creatures. And so like you'd end up having one thing that had like 1 billion counters on it or something when it was all said and done. All right, so we got the Ogre-Head Helm. It looks like it is capable of walking around on its own. So it is a piece of equipment, and it is a 2/2 by default. And when this deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice. If you do, discard your hand and draw 3 cards. Otherwise, you can snap it on some other creature, and it gets +2/+2. Seems kind of grisly. All right, let's move on. We've got the Patchwork Automaton, which is a 1/1 for 2, so kind of expensive. It's got Ward 2, and whenever you cast an artifact spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it should grow. It should be a grower, not necessarily a shower, right? We got Runaway Trash-Bot. This is the guy I think is really going to do well. Hopefully we can keep him alive. He's got Trample. He's a 0/4, so he's got a big old butt. And Runaway Trash-Bot gets +1/+0 for each artifact or enchantment card in your graveyard. So they really can't do much other than exile things to not make this guy super buff. But this guy, as your guys die, will get bigger and better. Of course, he'll never have more than 4 for toughness, but 4 is pretty decent, actually. We got Twinshot Sniper, which is a artifact creature / goblin archer. So he comes out, he's a for 4, you get a 2/3 with reach. And then it says when Twinshot Sniper enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. As it enters the battlefield, it'll do 2 damage. All right. And then, but you could channel by discarding it, paying 2, at which point it just deals 2 damage to any target. So apparently you can shoot 2 arrows, but only at the same target at the same time. That's doing 2 points of damage. But he's not an equipment himself. He just is a dude that happens to also be an artifact. Weird. He's also the most expensive card we got at 4 mana. That's it. All right, we got Den of the Bugbears. We got 2 man lands. We got this guy here, which will pop out a couple of spirit tokens. And we got 16 regular lands leading things up here. That is the deck. It looks pretty much on the wussy side, but there's a potential for a lot of growth here. So let's give it a try and see how it works out. Subscribe. All right, playing against Odds. Right, Odds. And we got 2 mana, which should be enough to play practically everything other than Runaway Trash-Bot, so let's keep it. Let's go for something fast. Let's put a couple quick hits in. Boink, boink. Oh, don't shoot my poor rabbit. There's a point of damage for you. Here's an apprentice. It's amazing how much these two look alike. Especially when the bottoms are cut off. Sticky fingers. Alright, I get what, create a treasure token. I got me some treasure. Of course, I don't really need it, but I guess if I get enough, I can pay multiple cards at the same time. This guy's going for the mana. Trash-Bot! Sure, let's put out the Goldhound. Let's just be prepared to wipe. There we go. That was enough to scare him away. Victory! Subscribe. Alright, we're playing against irishfunk. irishfunk. Thump, bump, bump, bump. irishfunk. 2 mana again. I wonder if we specifically have low mana. Because of the low mana that this deck actually needs, whether they skimped on it. We'd have to go back and take a look. Let's make use of all of our pluses here. We gonna start shooting? You can shoot over a 2/2? Don't make me touch my fish. I touched it. There we go. I know it was scary. Oh, that's what happens when I put all my eggs in one basket. Go for it, Pikachu. Irish Funk is sure wasting a lot of resources on a lot of wussy little guys. All right. We're gonna do 2 points of damage. Smoke it, Irish Funk, right to the face. No, I'm cool. Decline. Reconfigure. Yo, Joe. Decline. So, like, all my plans pretty much rely upon my rabbit bot for the future to give me hasty entrances for any creature I'm going to be putting out here in the near future there. We'll keep it up. All right, here we go. All 4. Smoke it. I can see you're touching the precious there. Don't touch the precious. There you go, Irish Funk, in your face. Victory! Subscribe. And we're going up against world-class Kevin. Hello, Kevin. And we got 2 mana, if you can believe it. 2 mana, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it. Oh, no rabbit, man. I don't know if we can win this game. Oh, good. We got the rabbit. We got the rabbit. Suck on a rabbit, Kevin. You gonna -1 me? Yeah, you are. All right, let's patchwork this. I should have seen that coming. You can waste all of his money on that. Waste all your mana this turn just to kill it. All right, there you go. Let's keep up the onslaught. That's just a mana monk. Oh, there we go again, getting slaughtered. Whoa, man, that's Life of Tesoros are killing me. Let's see. I'm thinking I have to get rid of the sticky fingers personally. Come on, red mana, you can do it. Mono red. I'm hoping that Kevin will try to block with his to 0 there. Of course, the big problem is he'll just get another one here in a second. That's an instant I can cast any time. Yeah, let's take that action. Oh man, I should have just blown this taco stand. Is what I should have done. Okay, let's see. You know, here I promised ahead of time I'd put sticky fingers onto the rabbit battery, and I keep forgetting to do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. Well, I'll be able to Bugbear it on next turn. Oh, no! In your face, Kevin! Well, that's that for that. I gotta say, this is probably one of the most interesting black decks I've seen in a long time. Mostly because of these guys. These guys are pretty fantastic against low-end creatures. Sure, why not? That's it for the Bugbear. He's going to sacrifice one of his Tashiros on this. I just sacrificed. I put all my dudes in front of these guys at this point. There we go. That's the way to do it. Yeah, we're making it out of this one alive. Go, Rabbit Ranger. No tax. Yeah, no, the memory of Toshiro was just devastating for us. We made it to the late game, and there's no way we're making it through anything with any sort of a defense on it. Yeah, that Westgate region is just going to plow through us. Do we even have any like direct damage? I guess we have the ability to snipe for 2. It'd be nice if we had a Runaway Trash-Bot or something, but that's about it. See, I can snipe for 2 again, but that's not going to get us anywhere fast. Here we go. We'll attack. Cancel attackers. I guess we have to do it at this point. See, I could have put out the sniper and just went ahead and put the rabbit on him to give him the haste. He would have been a 3-3. All I'm doing now is just sacrificing 2 cards to kill any one of his. But he's got 9 points of damage right now. I mean, he can kill me on this turn. On his turn, he can take me down. Oh, Kevin. Why did you have to be this way? We could have been friends. We could have been friends, Kevin. Defeat! Subscribe. Alright, so here is mono red artifacts. And I'm not sure there's any new component in here. Is there? I guess Sticky Fingers is. That looks to be about it. A lot of Kamigawa in here. Let's take a look. Is there because this deck feels like a budget deck is what it feels like to me. There's a rare. Yeah, everything is uncommon. I mean, the Bugbear, that's rare. This is rare, but these aren't. Really, and even the rares in here, they do not matter for the sake of this game, of this particular deck. So to me, this feels like a pretty sweet budget deck that somebody decided to throw a little bit of some rares in just to smooth out a couple of rough edges. But I mean, you could probably do so much better with what we got there. Here's my big deal, is that I get the impression, because they got a lot of things, these two, Patchwork Automaton and Runaway Trash-Bot, really take advantage of the other artifacts in your deck. And there's 4 of each, and yet, you know, you can't guarantee you're going to get to them. There's nothing that helps you go through your deck to go find them or anything. And those are the real muscle behind your deck. Everything else is so-so. And there's just a lot of so-so in here. And nothing really jumps out at being particularly all that great. So, I mean, the deck does well because it is aggro, and it's fast. You got haste. You got a lot of it. Between the hastiness and some of the menace and everything, you're definitely going to get in there. You kind of get there with the growth of some of the stuff going on and the ability to keep transferring some of your counters around. You're keeping the values that you've invested so far. So that's all great. And so for a nice mono red aggro deck, this deck does a good job. But like almost all aggro deck, if you're not done by turn 4 or 5, you're not going to finish the game alive. Anybody else that ramps up to that particular level will be able to just wipe your butt and wipe their butt with you. That's the way that it normally goes there. And this deck feels the same way. It's not that much of a grower. It's not going to be able to hold up against any decent resistance. You're just taking advantage of people in that shadow time in the first few rounds of a game. So if you are looking for a good budget mono red deck, I think this deck could easily be changed to be that way. You just got to take out this Ogre-Head Helm and put in something different, because everything over here nothing is rare in this category at all. That's uncommon, that's uncommon, that's uncommon. The man lands and the Kamigawa land, big effing deal. There's plenty of other things you can use instead. In fact, let's take a look at the land count. What did we have here? 20. That's the reason we were only getting two lands at each of our pulls right there. So yeah, I mean, it was cool. I like the artifact feel to it. I thought that worked well. I just feel like we should be able to do something better. And I'm not sure what that is. I haven't put any time into it, but maybe we can take a look and come up with something better. So anyways, how would I rate this deck? I would say I'm going to give this one right now a B. I was going to say a B minus, but I'm going to give it a B. The reason why is because I was actually very impressed with this deck and the way it worked and what it did. I was not surprised to find out that it couldn't hold up very well against people that have anything else going on. So it didn't surprise me. It doesn't have the ability to be super competitive. It just has the ability to just get out there and go crazy. And if you're looking to play something other than goblins, this is a really good other option in the mono red area. And the idea that you're playing so many artifacts and enchantments and stuff, that's kind of fun. It was kind of good. So was this deck fun? Yes. Was it competitive? No. What else would I say? Did it touch my inner Dr. Suckit child? Did it make me feel giddy inside? And a little bit. I like the rabbit battery. I like twisting things around a little bit by putting it onto other stuff. And if those things die, that the rabbit battery and the ogre helm stay alive afterwards. I love that about these particular equipment and the fact that they are creatures afterwards. That works really well. So that's why I'm going to give this deck a solid B. I think there's room for improvement, and I bet you, humble listener, member of the Dr. Suckit Revolutionary Uncommonly Good Army, you are the person to make this into a great deck. So anyways, I hope that you have as much fun with this deck as I did. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. in the words of my people, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.